I'm kicking out Optimal Brian. I'm better than everything. I'm kicking out Optimal Brian. I'm better than everything. Let's take a look at some and find some online games to play. Take a moment of fun and function to play. Yous guys, Delco born and raised Brian DeMarco here for another exciting second episode, the Optimal Brian Show. So it is February 7th. Let me prove it to you. Here we go, world clock. I am Brian DeMarco. You can visit me for content at briandemarco.com, or all the music that we're going to play underneath this is from Bandcamp, briandemarco.bandcamp.com. I can't sing, I can't really play an instrument, but I can write a catchy tune. And that's what I primarily do on this. As always, begin on our birthdays. So it is February 7th. Let's see who was born here on February 7th. We've got John Deere. Gentleman was born today, as well as Charles Dickens. We have Laura Ingalls Wilder. Anyone? Little House on the Prairie, early 70s TV show, and of course the books that go along with that. We got, Bert Hooton. Bert Hooton, you can see his list of accomplishments around these parts. He's remembered for a famous meltdown in an NLCS 1977, where his lack of control got him booed off the mound in Philadelphia at Old Veterans Stadium. Spoiler alert, they came back to win that game, so things go up, things go down. We have Dan Quisenberry, also speaking of pitchers from that era, relief pitcher, side armor for the Royals. Garth Brooks, 61 years old. There you go there. There you go, Chris Rock, also. Famous now for getting slapped, but comedian long before that. More on our list here. Steve Nash, basketball player. Oh, there you go. And Mike Kelso. So that might be a nice... Oh, no, wait a second. Endy Chavez. I believe he was the one that was kicked around with the Mets, but also was a Philly for a while and had one of those great nicknames given to him. Inning Endy Chavez. Because he usually ended an inning. So, let's get on with the games here today. So as usual, we start off with Wordle. What I'll basically play through here is Wordle, Dirtle, Quadrille, Octordle, and then the New York Times Wordle. So that's about 24 words altogether that we'll go through, and I'll try and guess them all. Might miss on one or two, but try to get them all guessed here in the morning, get the brain started. Wordle is just... This is guessing one word at a time. What I do is I start with the guessed word, most recently guessed word on there, and use that as my start. So, Chino. In there. Alright, now, so we see the H. So, H is either going to start this thing out or marry up to a T or an S, or, no, not a C in this case, or like it had been tried there. I'm going to go with it not being married to another letter, so it would start it. A word would not play well with an H around it, so let's say it starts with H. I've already gotten an I and an O knocked out here, so to do a guess here that gets me an A and a U, probably wouldn't hurt to do an E, because with an N there in the fourth spot, an E at the end is certainly an option as well. But haunt here gets me also, it repositions the H. T and an N are not bad consonants to scare out. And so we see what we got. So we did find H as the leadoff spot. So you could have something like that where that A is moved to there. I think more likely I was going to put an E at the end, but I don't really know of any word would fit that. Maybe like a hyena. This is looking like a weird word, but I'd like to get an E in there. I'd like to try that and reposition the A. So let's go. Well, there you go. Victory is ours. So there you go. We knocked out the Wordle pretty quick. Now let's go to Dordle. Dordle, all of our rules are our rules, but this becomes a little tougher because, like here, you can say, well, let's try to use the E in the next word, but we have a whole word that's a whole miss over there. So I'm still going to try and scare out some letters to start. When we get into the 4 and 8 games at a time, then that becomes mandatory because you have so many different combinations that it could be. So if you know a AU word, but I think I'll go with my usual third here, which is Ralph. Okay, so that didn't help out much either. So we got the S there. Cause can't work because we've already used up the C. Faves. All right. Not the word, right? We're pretty sure that that's not going to be what it is, but what it could do is place a few letters. And kind of then work this backwards. Looking at what would be possible last 4 letters of a word. So you do have something like that, say, which at this point, there you go. You've just got nothing else that's working. And now, unfortunately, you got 2 guesses here. This word could be waxes. It could be bakes, wages. So, unfortunately, you take a guess and nothing's there. So we pretty much have it down to a lot of words begin with the W. And what do you think it is? Is it wages? And it's wages. So there you go. I took a guess. And the guess usually is, what's the most common word? Go with that. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. If it was waxes, then oh well. We got it. So let's go into the Quordle. I have a 3-word beginning here that you need to do when playing these multi-games. So now I can see that first word up there, all 5 letters are out, and it's piney. That's a word? Yeah, it is now. We have down here the S-I-T-H. G-H-T, I'm sorry. So that would work if it's sight. G is still not out there, and it moves the T and the H around, and there you go. I'm kind of backing off on the Annie there because it could be nanny, it could be Fanny, it could be, I guess those are the 2 that we have the letters out there for. The one thing to check is see, well, maybe I need to use a F up in this little word remaining, and I'll be able to kind of answer whether or not it has an F in it. It's Nide. So what would be something that could fall? Oh, I'm forgetting the O. So let's say it was something like oxide. All right, and that fits everything. That gets the I, D, E, and O out there, and there you go. So we got 3 bites here. Is it Fanny? Is it Nanny? Yeah, there you go. And there we have it. We knocked out all those, so we're doing good so far. Let's get to the octordle. We'll start with the sequence, which is old-fashioned approach. This is, you have to guess the first word to get to the second word. So we got that. So there we go. So I started off just trying to find some letters. I now got to the second one, so that looks very much like Sonic. This one looks like could be Mossy. So this looks like it's Crane. So let's see. This one we don't have L yet, so let's say it's Elect. There we go. This one, what are we still with? So we don't have. I'm gonna go this. It's not this, but the idea of doing that. I mean, because if Kylerson wasn't, because the L was in the wrong place. Now let's go. So, well, we know there's only one S in this word, so it's not. This is PER something Y. So we still have a K out there. Perky sounds right. And said is the beginning of a sedan. Boom. There you go. So that knocks out our sequence. Straight up daily. And these we are doing all 8 at the same time. So this one you have to basically just throw out a bunch of letters. So we have Anch up here. So it could be Conch. Not a definite. I try to look through here and see if there's one that is a no-brainer. In the middle here, you have an H without a pair, a letter that would horde. There you go. So that makes sense for those 5. So we'll see if that one gets it, and it does. We're probably Anch, and Gonch, Bonch, Conch, Jonch, Wanch. It's probably Conch. So we got that done. All right. So here we've got another H word, but it doesn't end in, it's C and then something. E's already out there, so good chance it's a K. It would play well at the end of the word. So if we had hack, the only one that really matches up with H that's left is the W. So let's go that, and we're good. We have next to it check. We have in the middle here Leery, because you basically got an L and an R that have to fall into the beginning and end, and it can't be the R in the beginning, so there you go. We've got right next to it here this guy, 2 E's, Gettle. So that works. Alright, so that wouldn't have been my first guess, but it works. This last one, it begins with an E, and has a TRA at the end, so say that's extra. And there you go. We are cooking with gas. Treat myself to the times game. I'm going to go back to our Wordle. What did we end with? Hyena. That's a tough one to start with, but let's give it a go. Alright, so that gave me a couple of vowels. So how do we want to go? I always like to get some good consonants out there, and STR, about as good as they come. And none of them are in this word. But what did this give us? So it told us that the E is at the end. It could be 2 E's in it, but we do know that 1 E is at the end. Like gauge. And it's not. So misses still tell us something. We now know that we're pretty short on what it could be. And that's a case of the brain just running faster than the mouth. Just at that point, you're looking at A has to be first. It could start going down that maybe the O and the I are somewhere in there, but the P and the L hadn't been used yet. And apple's a good Wordle word. There we go, a clean sweep. Let's start a new game here. Let's take it from here on our star, where we can move a bunch of cards around a little easily. Out of there, red 4, about 3. try and shorten some of these rows. What we're doing here is keep trying to get to the point where everything just kind of clicks away like that. Alright, we will look at some of the words that we did today. We had hyena. We had wages. Assay. Piney. Sight. Oxide. Nanny. And Piney twice. So we had horde. So a leery horde of hyenas find a apple in a piney forest. So there we will go. Let's see what that looks like. And we will have that look Disney style. There we go. That's our prompt for today. All right, here we go. We're back. Disney style. Horde of hyenas find apples in a piney forest. And there you go. They're based upon our Wordles today, are our images. I guess hyenas. There's the apple. There's the forest. It's piney. It's a horde. Brought to you by multiple Wordles and AI. Saint of the day. Saint Colette of Corbie, canonized 1800s, but lived in the 1400s during the Reform, the Great Western Schism, 3 popes at the time. Her reform indicated the entire church's need to follow Christ more closely. So that is our saint for the day, Saint Colette. Our reflection for the day is spiritual consolidation, where we reflect upon the temptation to turn from God the moment you feel down or distressed. See these moments as gifts and opportunities to love when you do not feel like loving. These are opportunities to be transformed by mercy into the purest form of mercy. That's your reflection for the day. Glory be to the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. The music that we play, or I play underneath this, is provided by me and is available at briandemarcobandcamp.com, and all the rest of the good stuff is either here on the YouTube channel or available to listen to and get a sneak peek at briandemarco.com. Well, hope you feel optimal today. This gets you started on the day. It got me started. We're going to work a little more on being able to do the storytelling as we go along. I'm going to drink my American Pride Roasters coffee for the day and hope you guys are optimal. Thank you.